Be a bird landlord. Do you know your bird neighbours? If not, why not get acquainted? It will repay you, not only in that delight which all knowledge gives, but in a wider sympathy with nature and her wondrous lives, in a cheering acquaintance with the shy brotherhood of winged things, in a spiritual companionship with the little people of the air, who always symbolize to us hope, optimism, and the brighter qualities of existence. To take your gun and kill the air neighbours is brutal, stupid, and you ought to be ashamed of it. Take a pair of opera glasses instead, and do a little watchful waiting in a corner of the shrubbery. Learn to know the various uniforms of the aerial companies, the blue, grey, yellow, and red, the various tufts, tails, and topknots, that are vastly more interesting than soldiers' regalia on the battlefield, or women's hats on the Champs-Élysées. Speaking of hats, is it not incredible that countless valuable insect-eating birds, who are our greatest defense against the worms and bugs that destroy $1 billion worth of crops annually in the United States, are destroyed that their feathers may decorate women's headgear? After you come to know your bird friends, take measures to provide for their comfort. Be a bird landlord. Put up houses for them. You will get an amazing rental in the spectacle of happy lives, not in money, but in cheeps and chirrups, glimpses of fluttery wings through the sunny air, and a knowledge that in many a cosy nest are little beings which, were it not for your charity, might be devoured by ferocious cats, or frozen stiff or dead with hunger by the roadside. Martins will live, like human beings, in skyscrapers or apartment houses in miniature. Jenny Wren likes seclusion, away from prying neighbours. A single gourd or tomato can may do, and she has been known to bring up her little ones in a sprinkling can or a mailbox. The log cabin made from a hollow limb is preferred by the flicker and nuthatch families. Robins and phoebes go in for open sleeping porches, and bluebirds like roof gardens, whence they can easily fly out and in. Turn the openings of the birdhouses away from the prevailing north winds, says an authority, and don't forget to sheath the posts or poles that support them with tin or galvanized iron to prevent cats from climbing up. If you want specification for building birdhouses, you can get them free by applying to the United States government at Washington. Help the little wanderers that are being destroyed by their natural enemies, the hunters. Though there's nothing said in the Holy Writ about being rewarded for this in heaven, you may be sure that you will get your reward on earth each day by an added interest in life, by the pleasure of protecting our little sisters the birds, and at the same time doing real service for human beings. The Actor's Prayer. O God, here in my dressing room, with the door shut, I am alone with Thee. I am glad I know the Great Spirit that stands silently by here, as in every place where a human heart is beating. Cannot an actor be God's man? Cannot I, whose business it is to play, be as conscientious as those in authority or peril or solemn function? Convention classes me and my fellows among the loose and thoughtless. So thou art my secret. I triumph inwardly to find thy presence and taste the mystic joy of thy friendship, while the world suspects not. Thou washest my heart clean as the priest's. Thou givest me a holy ambition to do my work well, that I also may be a devout craftsman. Thou teachest me subtle ways to resist despair, to master my passions, to heal unworthy weakness. The rare medicine of thy presence is for me too, as well as for the cloistered monk or meditating scholar. Teach me to be great among the many who are content to be called great. Reveal to me the satisfaction of virtue, the inner rewards of loyalty, helpfulness, and self-control. Let me be an unusual person because of that simplicity of heart and that lovableness of nature that I learn from thee. May I also touch the infinite and share the divine current that thrills all high souls. Save me from the bogs of pettiness, from egotism, self-pity, envy, and all the corrosives that mar life. I do not serve in the temple. Mine is no solemn office nor critical station, but I thank thee that the river of God flows through the streets of the city, and that whosoever will may drink. Make me to achieve a better success in my role before the ever-present audience of the angels than I hope to have when I play my part upon the mimic stage. Ever, in all junctures, in hours of lightness as in stress or trial, God of my soul, help me play the man. Amen. It can't be done. If you're looking about for something to do, something big, something that will bring you fame and money, find something that can't be done and do it. Whoever is at work that can be done is not indispensable. If he quits, 7 others are in line to take his job. But the man who can do what can't be done is not to be dispensed with. The business cannot get along without him. Advertise for applicants for a job in your store at $10 a week, a job any industrious person can hold, and next morning the street will be black with the crowd of seekers. Advertise for a man who will tell you in a day how to increase your net profits or decrease your expenses 10%, and all you will need at your door is a policeman to handle the cranks. Particularly in the higher realm of endeavour, in the domain of thought and of morals, it is the impossible that is essential, dominant, needed. Conscience always points to what is beyond our capacity. Reason invariably demonstrates that what should be done is the impractical. The world progresses only as mankind does what can't be done. The 8-hour day, says Mr. Forbes, was socialistic, anarchistic, and absurd when first advocated. Nothing could be more impossible. Still, it lay on the conscience of the humane employer as well as upon the desire of the worker, and it was realized, and without any tremendous upheaval of the industries concerned. It was once said that 7-day work could not be done away with in the steel industry. The nature of the business demanded continuous labor. Give steelworkers a Sabbath rest? It can't be done. Yet it was done. Today, not 5% of the United States Steel Company's employees work 7 days a week. Against every demand of humanity, it has been objected, it can't be done. You can't treat prisoners like human beings, they said, and for centuries the vile birds of horror and cruelty befouled every penitentiary. Today, militant reformers are doing the impossible, and the cursed ramparts of humanity are crumbling. Men could not spread religion without quarrelings, torture, force. But it is being done. Plagues could not be prevented, the ignorant common people could not be educated, little children could not be spared from stunting labour, sweatshops could not be abolished, corporal punishment and trial by torture could not be brought to pass, slavery, dueling, and gladiatorial games could not be abated. At some time or another, practical men held all these things impossible. And now they sagely tell us that war cannot be evaded. Nations must have war. To expect to abolish war is ideal, fanatical, theoretical, impossible. Very well. If it's impossible, let's do it. From the chin up. From your chin down, you are worth about $1.50 a day. From the chin up, you are worth anything. There's no limit. Without your headpiece, you are just an animal, and about as valuable as a horse, maybe. You have a mistaken idea. You think you are paid for your work. You are not. You are paid for what you think while you work. It's the kind of brain that directs your hands that gives you your rating. And what causes you the most concern? The contents of your skull or the mass below the collarbone? You exercise your body, keep your arms strong and your legs limber and your waistline supple. But do you regularly exercise your cerebrum? Are your thoughts flabby, uncontrolled, wayward, and useless, though you are expert in tennis or golf? Is your thinker as clean, alert, disciplined, accurate, and dependable as your hands? Where do you get your pleasures? From the chin down? Is it all dancing for your feet, and meat for your belly, and clothes for your back? And is all your fun in the cellar? Don't you ever have any fun in the attic? What interests you most, books or beer? What pains you most, a stomach ache or a lie? How are you pulled? To what part of you is the cable tow fastened? To your loins or to your forehead? Suppose it were possible to live after the head had been severed from the body. Which part would you rather be, the head part or the meat part? What are you, anyhow? An animal pestered with a mind, or a soul prisoned in a body? Do you know that the gist of culture consists in transferring one's habitual amusements from below to above the nose? Yesterday. I am yesterday. I am gone from you forever. I am the last of a long procession of days, streaming behind you, away from you, pouring into mist and obscurity, and at last into the ocean of oblivion. Each of us has his burden, of triumph, of defeat, of laughter, of bitterness. We bear our load from you into forgetfulness. Yet as we go, we each leave something in your subconsciousness. We fill your soul's cellar. I depart from you, yet I am ever with you. Once I was called tomorrow, and was virgin pure. Then I became your bride, and was named today. Now I am yesterday, and carry upon me the eternal stain of your embrace. I am one of the leaves of a growing book. There are many pages before me. Some day you shall turn us all over, and read us, and know what you are. I am pale, for I have no hope, only memories. I am rich, for I have wisdom. I bore you a child, and left him with you. His name is Experience. You do not like to look at me. I am not pretty. I am majestic, fateful, serious. You do not love my voice. It does not speak to your desires. It is cool and even and full of prudence. I am yesterday, yet I am the same as today and forever. For I am you, and you cannot escape from yourself. Sometimes I talk with my companions about you. Some of us carry the scars of your cruelty, some the wretchedness of your crime, some the beauty of your goodness. We do not love you, we do not hate you, we judge you. We have no compassion, only today has that. We have no encouragement for you, only tomorrow has that. We stand at the front door of the past, welcoming the single file of days that pass through, watching tomorrows becoming todays, and then enter among us. Little by little, we suck out your life as vampires. As you grow older, we absorb your thought. You turn to us more and more, less and less toward tomorrow. Our snows cumber your back and whiten your head. Our icy waters put out your passions. Our exhalations dim your hopes. Our many tombstones crowd into your landscape. Our dead loves, burnt out enthusiasms, shattered dream houses, dissolved illusions, move to you, surround you. Tomorrows come unnoticed. Todays slip by unheeded. More and more, you become a creature of yesterdays. Ours are banquet halls full of wine-soaked tablecloths, broken viands, wilted roses. Ours are empty churches where aspirations were, where only ghosts are. Ours are ghastly Pompeian streets, rich galleons 100 fathoms deep, genealogical lists of sonorous names, mummies in museums, fragmentary pillars of battered temples, inscriptions on bricks of Nineveh, huge stone gates standing amidst the tropical verdure of Yucatan, Etruscan wine jars now dry and empty forever. Ours are the old credulities. With us are Wotan, Zeus, Almist, Isis, Vishnu. From us comes that miasm of inertia that holds humanity in thrall. From us comes the strength of war makers, monarchs, and all the privileged. We reach up long, sinewy grey arms of custom and tradition to choke today and impede tomorrow. We are the world's yesterdays. If you knew enough to put your feet upon us, you might rise rapidly. But when you let us ride on your backs, we strangle and smother you. I am yesterday. Learn to look me in the face, to use me, and not to be afraid of me. I am not your friend. I am your judge and your fear. Tomorrow is your friend.